Hello, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. The materials that will fuel the green revolution, and gold and silver will play a pretty big part. Yes, this is an infographic from Visual Capitalist, and this is quite an interesting diagram that talks about the materials that will fuel the green revolution and renewable energy consumption. And apparently in 2017, records for renewable energy consumption were smashed around the world. I know there's been a lot of progress in solar and the like, but looking at national state grids, progress has been extremely impressive. In Costa Rica, for example, renewable energy supplied 5 million people with all their electricity needs for a stretch of 300 consecutive days. In the UK, broke 13 green energy records in 2017 alone. And California's largest grid operator announced that it got 67.2% of its energy from renewables, excluding hydro, in May of 2017. And the corporate front is looking promising, with Google has led the way, buying 536 megawatts of wind power to offset 100% of its company's electricity usage. This makes a tech giant the biggest corporate purchaser of renewable energy on the planet. But while these examples are plentiful, the progress is only the tip of the iceberg, and green energy still represents a small but rapidly growing segment. And we're going to take a look at the infographic here in a moment, but the green materials, green metals that are required are quite extensive here, like copper, silicon, aluminum, lithium, cobalt, rare earth metals, and silver. And they'll be needed to generate, store, and distribute green energy. Without them, the reality is that technologies like solar panels, wind turbines, lithium-ion batteries, and nuclear reactors, electric vehicles are simply not possible. And also, I mentioned graphene and the idea of superconductivity, and I think we're a ways off before that can become really a viable option. And even as so, you know, it's the solar panels that are going to be created today and immediately tomorrow are going to be have silver in them for the foreseeable future. Here we see this infographic, quite interesting indeed. We can see the solar panels, wind turbines, and the like are using silver. In fact, I'm going to see if we can get a larger version of this, and we'll kind of navigate around here and see how this thing looks. Quite interesting indeed. Steel, silicon, copper. Because of heavy battery weight, EVs tend to use electric vehicles much more aluminum in their bodies than gas-powered vehicles there. So we'll have some aluminum here. But let's take a look at silver. Quite interesting indeed. Constructing solar panels and wind farms on a significant scale task large amounts of metal. Photovoltaic use already accounts for 8% of silver demand, and that's quite fascinating indeed. So there you see it, mainly with solar panels, wind turbines, and the like. And then we're moving on, we see these other materials, quite interesting. Here, with electric motors, neodymium, steel, aluminum, and copper. Quite fascinating indeed. Here we see motors with permanent magnets are more common in EVs, and use rare earth metals like neodymium to create powerful torque. And even the Tesla Model 3 will use a PM motor. Very interesting. Now if we scroll down, we'll see again, a lot of this is based off of a battery technology and energy storage. We see these metals used like nickel, cobalt, lithium, graphite, copper, iron, and aluminum, manganese, and here we have graphene as well, and here as well. But let's look over here at this side for the distribution and fuel. See, nuclear fuel obviously uses uranium and steel. We have wiring for aluminum, copper, power grids, silver, and gold. Quite interesting indeed. Let's take a look and see what that's about. We can see that gold does not tarnish or corrode, so it's used for electrical contacts and mission-critical or precision equipment. It's very fascinating. Copper is the metal of choice for much of the world's wiring and circuitry. Silver and aluminum are great conductors too. Well, silver is actually the best conductor, but in many applications, copper is less expensive and is easier to retrofit because of its abundance. But there we see all the different materials here in relation to where things are going. And for superconductors and distribution of information and technology and energy, silver is going to provide a great role, in copper as well. But I think silver and gold are just amazing metals, and I don't think they're going to be replaced anytime soon. So in the green energy revolution, we're going to see continued demand, I believe, for silver, especially, and gold for precision equipment. And they'll find better ways to use gold more efficiently, so they need to use less of it. I'm sure they will for silver as well. And if they're able to use less of it in certain devices, that means they can spread it out upon more devices, and it'll be, in a sense, more widely used, and demand for it will increase in that regard. We'll see where it all goes, but quite fascinating indeed. I think it's going to be exciting to watch the solar revolution really pick up in the coming decade as prices come down and more uses of the energy and of the renewable solar technology is being applied to other uses other than just for home and current uses where it is now. It's going to be more widespread in other areas. I've heard of a material that down the road you'll literally be able to paint your vehicles with solar paint and have solar roads and the like. And we'll see where that technology goes, but certainly silver will play a part in all of that. Post your thoughts below about the green revolution and how precious metals and other materials are being used for it. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to y'all for watching and encourage you to please rate, comment, and subscribe.